Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2026, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 78 years of independence and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations and celebrations. Today, before we start our sessions, we wish you all happy Makara Sankranti, which is being celebrated across India and diaspora, which is basically a farmers festival, harvest festival, food festival, kite festival, and also a great family gathering and a gratitude to all the farmers who are producing different crops across the world, and also animal festival, a gratitude to all the animals which are part of the agriculture, and also agriculture festival and food festival, and so many festivals, a culmination of festivals which is celebrated for the 4 days, today being the second day of the 4-day festival, which is grandly celebrated with pomp and glory. So we wish you all prosperity, health, wealth, and well-being to all the participants. So today is also commemorated as Indian Army Day on January 15th every year, to recognize the day the British Commander-in-Chief handed over the reins of the Indian Army to Field Marshal K.M. Cariappa. While India got its independence in 1947, the handover only took place in 1949. India has had military capabilities from the time of Indus Valley civilization that flourished between 3300 BC to 1300 BC. Many succeeding dynasties during the time of Alexander and beyond used their military strengths to fight wars and expand their territory across the subcontinent. Some of the most famous of these dynasties were Maurya, Shatavahana, Gupta, Vijayanagara, Chalukya, and Chola. These dynasties were followed by a series of wars waged between Central Asian armies, which the Mughals considered to originate from the present-day Uzbekistan, eventually won. They went on to establish their empire on the subcontinent. When the East India Company was set up, the territory was divided into presidencies and each had its own army unit. So these were Madras, Calcutta, and Bombay. Independent regional kingdoms like Mysore were also able to defeat the British army at war and hold on their territory until the ruler of Mysore, Tipu Sultan, was finally defeated in 1799. During the First World War, 1 million Indians volunteered to fight in the British Army, and around 90,000 lost their lives. Similarly, almost half of the officers in the battles fought during World War II were Indian. As the Indian independence movement gained traction in 1946, the loyalties of Indian soldiers became conflicted and many mutinied against or resigned from the British-led army and navy units. So while the Indianization of armed forces under the British continued well into the country's independence, the final handover took place on January 15, 1949, and this is the day we celebrate. The text translates the science of archery, the Dhanurveda, that is considered ancient classic in the field of martial arts. And of course, archery is around 1100 BC to 800 BC, though it may be much older. So, M. Karepa becomes India's first field marshal, taking over from the British counterpart, General Francis Butcher, in 1949. India fights its first war against China, which ends after China declares a unilateral ceasefire, the Sino-India War in 1962. India's most recent war is fought at Kargil when Pakistani troops crossed the line of control and captured territories belonging to India in 1999. The Chief of Army Staff is commanded by a general with Manoj Mukund Narwane holding the rank since 2019 and followed by the counterparts. The President of India formally served as the Supreme Commander of the Armed Forces. India appointed as its first Chief of Defence Staff only in 2020, with the General Bipin Rawat holding the post. So the Indian Army puts on a military parade and gives out gallantry awards at Karyappa Parade Ground in Delhi cantonment. The ceremony is streamed live on public broadcasting service, Doordarshan and Akashvani. It is also streamed on YouTube, Twitter, and other social media platforms. So there have been a few acclaimed books published recently that dwell into more neglected, detailed aspects of Indian troops' engagement in the world wars. One such book is India's War, World War II and the Making of Modern Asia, South Asia, written by Srinath Raghavan. Another is Father's Field, an Indian story of Second World War, written by Raghu Khanna. So read about India's contribution to the world wars. While we have provided a glimpse, there is so much to uncover about India's long military history and its evolution across civilizations, dynasties, and conquests. So choose your favorite period in Indian history or one of you know the least about and look up the political and military history of the time. Today is also commemorated as Women's Healthy Weight Day, which falls on every Thursday of the third full week in January, and we have something very important to tell you. Each of us is unique in our own healthy way, a healthy weight. Is the natural body weight in relation to height. Being healthy is defined by physical, mental, and social well being, which means getting the right amount of nutrition, exercise, mental stability, and sleep. So, the first thing that people notice about us is our physical appearance. So, it's no surprise that we get so conscious when someone mentions our weight. Sadly, many people believe that being thin is equal to being healthy, which is not the case. Being skinny isn't always healthy. We could be healthier than a person who weighed less than us. For years, people have associated weight with a healthy body, which is not true. Being healthy is not defined by just weight, but it is a combination of the physical, mental, and social well being of an individual. An ideal number of your bathroom scale is not an accurate representation of a healthy individual. Body mass index is the standard used to determine a healthy weight. Recently, new standards of measurement of a healthy weight are being developed, which promise to be more accurate than the standard BMI. Many women go to extreme lengths to achieve their ideal weight. They starve and put themselves at risk just to lose the excess weight. On the other hand, some women show no concern for their weight or health and increase their chances of contracting life threatening diseases. Women's Healthy Weight Day celebrates a healthy weight for all women by accepting every woman's natural body appearance and weight. So, this day discourages the obsession with weight loss in an unhealthy manner. Women are encouraged to celebrate their natural weight by focusing on their overall health and at the same time avoiding unnecessary diet practices. So, William Gull is the first to use the term anorexia nervosa to describe this condition. In 1873, the first American made bathroom scale comes out. In 1970, the modern term body mass index is coined in a paper in the Journal of Chronic Diseases in 1972. Ideal body weight introduced by Ben J. Devine is initially used to allow the estimation of drug clearances in obese patients in 1974. Having lean muscles is healthier because it is easier to stick to a routine that offers flexibility and is also a much more natural way to stay fit and work out. The studies say a brisk stroll is better than a workout. Scientists found that 30 minutes of high impact walking is more effective for fighting the flab than the same time spent on lifting weights and pounding the thread. For individuals who are trying to lose weight, the ACSM recommends up to 200 to 300 minutes per week. This means an hour-long walk 4 to 5 days per week will be sufficient to achieve your weight loss goals. Though keeping a track of how much you eat is a good way to stay healthy, starving yourself just to shed some extra weight can do a lot of damage to your body. Try not to get carried away when counting your calorie intake, as it is not a very healthy way to lose weight. Depriving yourself of a healthy diet can cause the body to gain more weight once you go back to the normal day. So being active doesn't always mean going to the gym. There are a number of better ways to have a regular workout, such as walking, dancing, or cycling. Any form of exercise that gets your heart pumping is a good way to be active. What better way to celebrate this day than to adopt a healthier lifestyle? 51% of your young American women express dissatisfaction with their bodies. People with the ideal weight can still carry too much fat around their middle, which can put them at a higher risk of diseases. The word pound derives from a Latin expression libra pondo, in which the word pondo is the ablative singular of the Latin noun pondus, meaning weight. Globally, anorexia was estimated to have affected 2.9 million people in 2015. In the year 2000, a Harvard study really revealed that 86% of the teenage girls were on diet or believed they should be on one. So this day promotes living a healthy diet-free lifestyle and encourages us to improve our overall health. It focuses on improving our health through healthy eating and physical activity while discouraging unhealthy habits. An ideal weight is every woman's dream, but sadly, most women put their health at risk in order to achieve that weight. So this day celebrates all body types and encourages women to accept their bodies the way they are meant to be. This day highlights the sad realities behind the efforts to be perfect body type. It also sheds light on the problems such as anorexia, bulimia that many younger women suffer from while trying to lose that extra weight. Not only are these practices unhealthy, but they also lead to many health problems later in life. There is also commemorated as Nation Spring Festival Golden Week holiday in China on January 15th to January 17th, mid of January late and often coinciding with this Chinese New Year and taking place between late January to mid-February. The celebrations go on till Lantern Festival, which is on the 15th day of the New Year. So the Spring Festival is an important part of Chinese culture and one of the largest celebrations among Chinese people. No matter what they are, the festival has a lot of focus on activities that bring luck to make sure everyone celebrating has a great new year. Today is also commemorated as National Strawberry Ice Cream Day in US on January 15th. As the name suggests, it is a time to try some strawberries in your ice cream. It's more traditional to eat your ice cream with strawberries as a top. Strawberries are also popular complement to chocolate and cream, so many other desserts. This day, however, celebrates strawberries in their delectable ice cream form. Today is also commemorated as National Pathol Day in UK on January 15th. Observes that highlights observance that highlights ever-growing problem of potholes on our roads. This is nothing more irritating than trying to avoid potholes while driving the road. The only thing that could be worse could be driving in a heavy downpour while swearing to avoid them. A National Pothole Day was established to bring attention to ever-increasing pothole menace on our highways. Today is also commemorated as National Hat Day in the US on January 15th. Every year, today is also commemorated as National Fresh Squeezed Juice Day on January 15th. It is an ode to the restorative properties of fresh and natural fruit juice and vegetable juices, and a reminder for us to include more often in our diet. Fresh squeezed juice can be more delicious and for some of us easier way of consuming vitamins and minerals. Today, juices are part of diets across the world, with orange being a staple in American breakfast. There are many kinds of juices that are able to extract vital nutrients from fruits and vegetables without losing them to eat. The hydraulic triturator juicer developed by Walker does a great job of this. Others include twin gear juicers and slow juicers. Day is also commemorated as National Booch Day on January 15th to pay tribute to kombucha tea that has existed on the planet for centuries. Aims to provide Booch fans with an opportunity to simply unwind and sip on their favorite tea. Several flavors of tea are available. According to legend, the tea was created by accident. As the story goes, the emperor was merely boiling water when a leaf from a wild tree drifted into his pot, furthermore brewing the first tea. The emperor loved the tea and decided to introduce it to people around him, and the rest is history. From there on, the tea spread out to Japan, Russia, and finally the Western world. The tea was given the name of kombucha after a man, Dr. Kombu, brought the beverage to the Japanese emperor in Yoko during his travels. After the tea became famous, The term cha was added to the Dr. Kombu's name, and the term cha means tea, so in Japanese. Based on the myths of ancient times when tea was presumed to give samurai a great deal of energy during battle, the tea finally reached Europe in 1900. It gained instant popularity due to its rumored health benefits. For those who haven't tried the tea is a unique mixture of sweet and sour. It also often compared with wine and apple cider. The tea is created from a symbiotic colony of bacteria and yeast, SCOBY. Today is also commemorated as National Bagel Day in US. Bagels have a history that is richer than your favorite cream cheese spread. The rounds of dough can be found just about anywhere. Breakfast joints, coffee shops, supermarkets, or even your kitchen pantry. In fact, 2018 saw more than 354 million bagels stored. So bagels have a long and high documented history that travels from Jewish families of Poland in 1600s to wrapped up in parchment paper in your hands today. So bagels made jump to America with massive Polish Jewish immigration in the 1800s that firmly entrenched itself into the New York City where it thrived. While bagels were hugely popular in New York City almost immediately, they don't make their way to the national scale until the mid 20th century, where automation and bread slicing, the coolest thing, made mass manufacturing much more efficient. Since then, bagels have taken off to include a variety of flours, topping, dips, and smears, but still remain by and large exactly as they were in the 1600s. Today is also commemorated as Alpha Kappa Alpha Day on January 15th in US, observed annually since the sorority's inception more than a century ago. It was the first black female sorority and has the honor of housing many great black women in the US. While it has its competition, its members are quite exceptional. Kamala Harris, the first black woman to occupy the office of vice president in the US, is an AKA sister. So sorority deserves a day to be celebrated. This week is also commemorated as Energy Savings Week from January 15 to 21st in UK. It's tough to ignore the reality that energy prices are rising for the majority of UK citizens. This year, prices for most UK families are poised to climb significantly as part of the current gas price crisis. And with a change to the energy cap approaching this year, Energy Saving Week is a national initiative that aims to encourage individuals to save energy while also lowering fuel expenses. This week focuses on educating the public on how to switch energy supplies or tariffs to get their best price, so get savings and make houses more energy efficient. So saving energy at home may lower both carbon emissions and energy expenses, urging people, schools, organizations around the UK to help in making difference. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations and celebrations. We once again wish you all happy Makara Sankranti and Pongal to all our stakeholders and everyone on this world. So we wish you good health, prosperity on this festival, and have a good family gathering and good time with family members, relatives, and friends. So we request everyone to quickly fill up the feedback form before leaving the platform. See you all tomorrow at the same time with different commemorations and celebrations. Take care. Good night.